All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Mindy Weingarten, guys. Coming to you here live from my pantry here. So we're having a little connectivity issue. So hopefully you guys can hear me, but this is my pantry in here. A lot of very healthy snacks over here. We got cheesy poofs, got it all. So anyway, let's talk about upcoming. We got DE coming up, guys. Very exciting. DE is on the way in Sarasota in April 21st to the 24th. Then we're back in Atlanta, Hotlanta, August 11th to the 14th. October 13th to the 16th as well in Atlanta. And then look at that, January 12th to 15th, Clearwater Beach in Florida. I love it. Wow. So you got 3 cities in 4 DEs. Very exciting. Love the variety by the team there, and can't wait to do that. Now, we just had DE, so you might be like, well, why do I need to book Sarasota? That's like, we're in February, and it's like 2.5 months away. Because that hotel in April is selling out, and we've got a room block for right now. But if you're coming, you might want to commit now and grab a room, because those rooms are going fast. They're going to sell out well before our room block is there. The hotel is going to be sold out, no doubt. April, it's beautiful weather. It'll be in the 80s. We'll be in the pool. This last one was a little chilly, so we weren't able to quite do that. A little cold for me in that pool, but this is going to be beautiful, guys. So April, please make your plans, get down there, make them early. Don't get shut out. Be staying. Oh, all right. I'm back. Hopefully you guys heard that. Anyway, the point of it was come to DE in April. Anyway, let's move on here. We're gonna get going here with our speaker for tonight. Very longtime DE attendee, speaker. This lady's a phenomenal chiropractor coming out of Port Orange, Florida. A huge mentor to our students. Truly an inspiration. 1983 graduate of Life Chiropractic College. I am so excited because I could use some inspiration tonight, and I know this lady's going to deliver. So without further ado, give it up for Dr. Mindy Weingarten. Mindy, thank you so much for doing this. Love and appreciate you. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. Well, this is my 5th time I've done a Tuesday night call. And each time it's still like, what am I going to say? What do I have to say? But before I start with what I have to say, I have to do this. Everybody know Tracy Malton? We had a Zoom call, and Tracy mentioned that her desire is to speak from the DE stage. So I would like the powers that be that decide who speaks to put Tracy Malton on the April platform. So I want to see on our brochure her smiling face in one of those tiny little boxes. Because if she's got a desire to be on the stage, I think she has something she wants to say to us. And I would like that to make it happen, because I told her I would make it happen, and I don't like to fail. So I sat for a while of where I want to go with my message. And the top of my page, I just wrote my 2 things all the time. One is where there is chiropractic vision, the people prosper, and nothing is bigger than life. And so I'm hopefully that my message stays with those 2 on-point topics. So this last DE, on the ride home, we were listening to the Billy Joel channel, and he was being like this DJ for the 1960s. He was bringing up some music. And in 1965, the Byrds did a version of To Everything, Turn, Turn, Turn. And it was like the first time after DE that I really listened to the lyrics, and I felt that this song was just like so DE. So I'm just going to read you the lyrics and then maybe try to figure out where I'm going with this process. So, to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant and a time to reap, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to laugh and a time to weep, a time to build up and a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, rocks in your backpack, a time to gather stones, a time to love, a time to hate, a time to learn and a time of peace, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love and a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. And I just kind of thought that where it said is the season, and that we go to DE 4 times a year because it's pretty much seasons. And so each time that we enter DE, we might be at a really different season in our life or in our needs. And when we go there, when we're in that process, we leave with something to help us either build us up again or help us break down so that we can build up again and be a better server. I mean, we go there to either expand our heart and make it bigger or to heal our heart. We go there, we go to DE to see the vision big because we kept it too small in our heads. And now through our hearts, we could make it much bigger. And I was really moved by that, how that song just kind of resonated with me. And then I just started thinking about why I went to DE this time, or how the person I was, or the needs that I had to go into DE. And so for the January 2022, I thought, well, what's going to be my year for me? And my year for me is basically, I want to lighten up. I want to lighten up in all the stuff that I have. I've been working on cleaning out closets, cleaning out cabinets, cleaning out drawers to just get the clutter away. You ever have a drawer that it's stuffed with things and you're just kind of trying to push it, you get your hand jammed in there? And I think it's sometimes a little metaphor for life, that we pile stuff in so that we don't actually are light enough to feel all the things we need to feel instead of stuffing something on top of it. So when I went to DE, my focus was, I'm not going to take a lot of notes. I'm going to try and sit and try and feel what is really coming from the speakers off the platform. And so my notes contained very little that I took home. And the first thing I did write was, nothing is bigger than life. And then I wrote, how am I doing with this message? And then I wrote, how is the profession doing with this message? And then I had, stay focused and keep it simple. And I don't know who was there on Sunday, but Tim showed a little video of how long it takes him to do like that initial consultation. I know he has other staff members that do the other things, but he went through it and it was 2.5 minutes that he was in, had this connection with the patient, but also sent the message of why the patient was in the office. And I was just blown away by 2.5 minutes that we could get the beginnings of laying down the foundation for anybody that's new in the office to know why they're in the office for their care, not because they came in with the symptom, but that he already started laying the groundwork of how important our nervous system is to health and healing or expression of our life. And I just was like, and I thought I was fast. So that went back to me thinking that keeping it simple, lightening it up, how is my consultations from now on going to be with my patients or anybody that comes in? So now it's basically the person is in there. I do the x-ray, so that has to take some of the time. I just meet them where they're at as far as, introduce, they tell me what they're in for. And then I basically say that today is a chiropractic visit and it's going to look different than what you've had in the past in any other healthcare provider's office. I'm here to check your spine. I'm going to have you lay down I'm going to have you sit. I check them sitting. I check them laying down. And it's like, okay, let's take x-rays. And then I just say that they're going to be coming back. And then when they come back, I'm going to tell you that I have found your problem. I can help you. It's going to cost this, and this is what's going to take on your part to take care of you. And so now I timed me, and I made it to 14 minutes, Tim. So I'm working on it. But again, what it's going back to is that we only have one purpose. And what purpose is to lay the groundwork of that we are different. Our message to the world, to the people, if we want a chiropractic vision, is that it has to start at that moment that we make the contact. And I remember, Bill Esteb said, try not to make every, patient a chiropractor on day one. But we have to make everybody that comes in our office to know what they're really getting. So if you spend time on asking questions that are related to their symptoms, what they're getting is what they get everywhere else. That they're going to think that it's the symptoms are the most important part and not what the value of what chiropractic is. And so that second message that I wrote to myself to stay focused and keep it simple was the message that I have to keep it simple and clear out the clutter in communicating what it is I do and why I do what I do. And then I wrote that I got this because I have trust and faith. And trust and faith came from attending DE 4 times a year for about 36 years. I know 2 times that I haven't been to DE, but it's because of my needing to go sometimes to expand my heart. And sometimes it's to break down where I'm stuck to see my heart, that has made me know that I can walk by faith and I can trust what I do will be the right thing where I go and how I go about what I do. And I am so grateful that we have that. We celebrated the 50 years of DE, and it was a big blast. And we saw some people that we haven't seen before. And then I was looking just recently because of cleaning out shelves. I came across the photo book that I made of the pictures that I took during that night. And it also had the brochure of the DE celebration. And it had pictures of people that, I haven't seen for years and they didn't even come back. And it always just makes me wonder why they don't come back. What is it that now when I sit in the room, there is, like a handful of us that have been there for a long, long time. And I'm grateful that we do the SID videos. And I'm grateful for all the people that have had the relationship with Sid, who can express Sid's messages, because the people who've never had the experience with Dr. Sid can get a feeling for it. Like if they sat in DE and they just felt the words that came from the speakers that really have had the buildup that we've learned through DE, and I'm grateful for. But it just makes me wonder where the old timers actually went to and why they left. Was it that DE was personality driven, or was there a real message there? For me, there's a real message, because there's a real message in the new people that speak on the platform. They have experiences and different approaches that I see their creativity. I see how they love on their patients. I see how they give to their community. And that just makes my heart swell, because even though they haven't had the opportunity to hear from Dr. Sid or sit with Dr. Nell, they're getting it. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the people that have kept it going. I really am pleased with it. And so the trust and the faith has been a big, big thing in my world about stepping out. But the question that I had was, how am I doing with the life is bigger, life, nothing is bigger than life message? And I don't think I'm doing that great outside of my office. So I gave out the 5 books that I got from DE, and I got some really nice response from the people that actually read it, and they passed it on. So I decided that on Valentine's, we ordered a case of Steve's books, and that's going to be our Valentine gift to our patients. We're going to ask the other patients, do you read? If you don't read, I'm not giving it to them. I'm giving it to people who read. And that when I say that, I think that I'll say it with such a authority, like Dr. Sid told us, that they'll read it and then pass it on. And that's just going to be like the first step of me keeping it simple, but working on my message outside my office. And I think that, on a Band of Brothers talk, I talked about how we get caught up on how many people we've seen. I think we should start to track our numbers on how many people we actually talk to during the day, that we tell them that there's nothing bigger than life. I think that if we start making a commitment that every week in our outside communication, not to our friends, and that's easy, to people who, we're giving our deposit at the bank, saying, hey, can I just have a moment? I just want to tell you something about, and start off with, nothing's bigger than life. And they'll look at you and maybe we'll say, well, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? And so my commitment now is that at least 20 times a week that I will be using nothing is bigger than life to people that I don't know, or that I haven't actually spoken to about what I really do as a chiropractor. I say that my eyes are open, and I say that my ears are open to opportunities, but I'm not waiting for the opportunities. My challenge to myself, and hopefully anybody else out there, is that I'm going to make the opportunities. And it's not about them coming into my office. God sends me who he wants me to send. Might send me more because I'm more out there, and I'm only doing it because our profession is not doing it. I know Brian was a little afraid of me saying anything about when on Facebook today, and I'm not really going, or Monday, I'm not really going to discuss much of that because I'm not surprised. So if I'm not surprised, the majority of you that I'm talking to is not surprised. But the truth of the matter is, individually, we're going to have to be a lot stronger with nothing's bigger than life than we've been playing small. And we got to actually, go through the big door like Dr. Sid, and go to stand at the big counter like Dr. Sid told us to do. And so that's my commitment to changing at least in my world, I told you that I wrote down that I got this, and I have faith, and I have trust. And with that line is going to propel me to fulfill the commitment that I actually am going to do with talking that nothing is bigger than life. And I hope that more people join me. And so that when I see you in April, you say, oh, I didn't lose 10 pounds or the 70 pounds or the 80 pounds, which is great because you are lightening up and I have to work on that area myself. But we all start saying what our numbers are with how many people that we reached out to talk to that were strangers and we weren't afraid to be turned away. That I think is going to be a greater number for us. And I think it's going to be a greater number for us to get our message and have the fact that where there is a chiropractic vision, the people will prosper. Because what I saw on Monday of what our profession profess, whether it is in a magazine that shows, there was this comment they have like a webinar and it said something to the effect about almost forget trying to be high volume, try making your cash practice on high tech. And then it said laser. And I paused on that because, at DE, when we talk about the numbers we see, we don't talk about the numbers because it's our bank account is filling up. We talk about the numbers is because that's the way we reach more people with what chiropractic is. We talk about the numbers that hopefully, again, going back to what our first encounter with the patient's going to be is about really what chiropractic is. Again, not about the symptom chiropractic, but that there's something bigger going on inside of you that just needs to be released because it's not going to happen anywhere else. You can't rub it out. You can't put ice on it. You can't put heat on it to get the expression of life to all the tissue cells of the body. And so the volume, like people say it like it's a terrible thing that you should have high volume, but instead have low volume and charge the heck out of to people is not the message that we should be making. It should not be in any chiropractic magazine, but in reality, there are no chiropractic magazines. And that was another thought that I had is why don't we have a chiropractic magazine? It doesn't have to be a magazine that goes to people through the mail, but why don't we have a social media magazine that we just put out information that's the principle of chiropractic? That it doesn't have to, I'm sure there are some people that could sponsor it, some organizations that are aligned with us that could sponsor a monthly online magazine that chiropractors can put their email to and get it, so that the time is now with all this social media. It should, we have all these people that come to DE that do social media. Maybe they're the ones we should to reach out to and say, how can we get this done? There are so many people that put so much beautiful messages out there that if we put them all together and every month that we can send it out as a message, and then those people can forward it to all the emails that they have in their offices. Imagine the growth potentially like that. If everybody at DE just added their email list to a magazine that's dedicated to the principles of chiropractic, to the voice of Dr. Sid, to the voice of Dr. Nell, to the voice of Dee Dee, to the voice of BJ, to the voice of people in the other organizations that are holding conferences that talk chiropractic. I think that, that's what we should be concentrating on. And it could even be called Nothing's Bigger Than Life. Wouldn't that be great? So, the thing about that question that I took the time to say to myself, how am I doing? Each and every one of us needs to ask, reevaluate, take stock and say, how am I doing with that message? And I just feel that we need to change it because, everybody said that this time with this pandemic, it's not the greatest time to be a chiropractor. I'm not sure I saw that. My office was great, but I don't think my message in my office got any further than my front door with a lot of people. I know it didn't get my message into my community because they still were lining up for their tests, and they're lining up for their vaccines, and they're lining up for an ICA mask. Sorry, Brian. I had to do it. And we have to get creative, and we have to get louder, because it's not going to happen from the organizations that we do have. It's going to have to be some kind of groundswell to let us do what we have to do. And I was going to end this by reading a quote. Hang on, I'm leaving, I'm coming back. Oh, well. I think I lost my quote I have it. This was given to me by Debbie, who has been with me for the 35 years that we've had the Port Orange Family Chiropractic Center. And I think it's for all of us. And it says, I've come to believe that each of us has a personal calling that is unique as a fingerprint, and that the best way to succeed is to discover what you love and then find a way to offer it to others in the form of service, working hard, and also allowing the energy of the universe to lead you. I am grateful for all of you. I love and appreciate you. And Tracy Malton on the DE Speakers program. Love you. That's all I got.
Dr. Mindy, that was an awesome talk, girl. Thank you so much for that great message tonight.
Thank you.
And you don't have to apologize. You speak your truth, girl. I love hearing every single word that you're saying, and I'm on board. And what a great, great talk tonight. I was looking for inspiration. You inspired me. Go back and look at all the people that commented. You were on fire tonight, girl. Thank you so much for that.
I appreciate it, Brian. And I'm glad you asked me, even though I'm like, crap. He tapped me on the shoulder. I got to do this again. But I do adore everyone. I love DE. I don't plan on missing them.
Well, and I love your inspiration, because I'll be there at Sarasota. You'll be there in Sarasota. We all need to get up there and get there to Sarasota. Guys, if you're on here, listen to Dr. Mindy. Take the inspiration. Create massive action. It's time to go to work.
I challenge you.
So that wraps up our Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast. Thank you, Dr. Mindy, for that awesome message. Thanks, Tiff Bray, for filling in and getting everything in the production going. We will see you guys next Tuesday night on the DE Band of Brothers call.